Hi, this is Richard Evans here today recording our screencast for our blog on Condo-Hotels and the purchase by the association of the Condo-Hotel program. What I'm doing is a side-by-side comparison of the Condo-Hotel and the traditional hotel. And what we have here is, and what we're using here is, we're using the metrics that have been created, compiled and compiled by Smith Travel in what they call the Host Report. And this is a report that is widely used and well respected in the hotel industry. What they do is they collect data from thousands and thousands of hotels in different geographical locations in the United States, and they put it together and they put it out in different ways so that you can use it and do comparisons to your property. So what we're looking at today is we're looking at actual metrics in 2011, and in this case we're doing it for a luxury resort of 165 units that's located in the South Atlantic region. And what you're going to see, and I'm going to scroll down here just so that you can see the whole thing, is you're going to see that there are basically no differences between the condo hotel and the traditional hotel until we get to undistributed operating expenses. And then you can start to see the big differences that occur, in this case, in utility costs and property operations and maintenance. And then when you scroll down a little bit more, highlighted in yellow, in condo hotel adjusted expenses, these are the big differences. And you can see at a quick glance how much of a difference is shown in the amount that is available for debt service and other fixed charges from the condo hotel and the traditional hotel. And there's a reason, and that reason is that the majority of those funds have been distributed to the owners in the condo hotel program rather than brought down to the bottom line. And that, of course, is the main reason, or one of the main reasons anyway, why an association would consider buying the hotel program, taking control of your destiny. So let's go through it very quickly, I promise. The occupancy in this specific South Atlantic hotel of 165 units is 68.2%. Now let me say this before I go on. These are averages. Now averages are just that. Averages are often and should be beaten. And so what you're looking at is you're looking at a great baseline, and the numbers that we're showing here are going to be, with a good operator in place, are going to be much higher. So 68.2% in both the condo hotel and traditional hotel, with an average rate of $169, no variance. We then come down to each of the departments that are summarized in this report. In revenue, in the rooms division, which is your gross room revenue, is $6,954,805, again in both type entities. If you have food and beverage in the hotel, $3,440,470. Telephone, $48,297, and other income typically would be $920,489. That could include valet, that could include gift shop, it could include office rental space, a variety of different possibilities. Okay, so your total gross revenue in the building is $11,364,061 average. Now we come down to the departmental profits, okay, shown again in the specific divisions. No difference between traditional and condo hotel, and we're bringing down in total departmental profits $6,839,141. We now move to the undistributed operating expenses. Administrative and general, $1,020,493, and marketing and sales, $806,848. Now we move into where we start to see differences between the two type entities. Utility cost, of course, for the condo hotel is much less at $71,594, because if submetered, okay, or a percentage could be used. I've seen 15% used sometimes of the condo hotel cost and utilities. $71,594 represents the portion of the utility bills that are billed to the condo hotel. This would include front desk, executive offices, laundry department, housekeeping department, maintenance department, and of course, you could own a few closets where there wouldn't be a utility charge, but that might make that number change if it was a percentage was being used in accordance with square feet. The traditional hotel, which pays utility costs on the entire building, would be $477,291. So our first difference is a savings of $405,697. Please keep in mind that what we're saving, what you're seeing in savings here, is amounts of money that are actually going to be distributed to the apartment or unit owner in the condo hotel. They, of course, in the majority of cases, would be paying their own utility bill. But once again, at times I do see situations where the entire building is paying the full utility cost. That's passed on to the owners through monthly maintenance, and so that's why there's such a difference there in the costs. We then move on to the property operations and maintenance. Now, in this situation, there's a huge variance, and the reason for that is because the condo hotel only will be providing light bulb changes, small changes to units, maintenance to their front desk, the areas that I've already mentioned, front desk, executive offices, and so forth. And so it's a smaller amount of $83,525 compared to the traditional hotel, who is taking care of maintenance and operations for the entire building. So as we come down to gross operating profit, you can see that the savings thus far are $879,011, favoring the condo hotel. Management fees are paid to professional hotel operators. This particular fee is 4%. That's where I believe it should be. They can run anywhere from 3 to 5%. And in my view, no incentive bonus should be paid unless an operator can bring net income to the property. Okay, so that's no difference between management fees of $440, $926 between traditional and condo hotel. We then have reserves that are collected for capital improvement inside the units now. And you can see that normally they run from 3 to 4%, and in this case I used 4%, and they're $250,009. Again, no difference. Now we move to the areas that you can see the big difference between the two types of entities. Property taxes are paid by the condo hotel in the amount of $30,000 compared to $556,839, giving us a difference of $526,839. Okay, the difference there is that the condo hotel owner is only paying property taxes on the commercial units that they own and that I had previously mentioned. Insurance expense, likewise, $40,910, is the condo hotel paying liability insurance really on any problems that arise, any negligence that could possibly occur. But the condo hotel unit owner is usually picking up that cost for their unit. So that explains the big difference. The traditional hotel would be paying insurance costs for everything. So the savings there would be $95,459. Now the distribution to owners, depending upon how well the operator operates the hotel, could be anywhere from 40 to 50%. Because I already knew how this Four Diamond hotel operated, we used a 42% distribution to owners, and that is an actual 42% on gross room revenues. Now, that no deductions have been taken from any RMA, and condo hotels often will do that, and what we suggest is that when the association buys the condo hotel program, we eliminate all deductions. We make it what I call simple stupid, easy to understand, and the unit owner, whatever the gross amount of revenues that have come into their unit, their specific unit, they will receive 42%. Of course, the traditional hotel does not have that expense, and so you can see that the difference is $2,921,018. Now in this case, once again, I already know what the profitability is, and so we really don't want any profitability in the condo hotel. We want distributions to be increased, and in this particular case, so we're taking 85% of the bottom line that will be paid to owners in cash distributions before the end of the year. That would be $850,000. Once again, that need not be paid to the traditional hotel owner. So there's a big benefit to the owners. As I've stated before, it is my belief that hotel operators not receive a bonus unless they have proven results, and those proven results for me as an accountant are net income. They must arrive at net income. They must strive for net income. And so you can see here that $150,000 is paid to the hotel operator at the same time as this $850,000 is distributed to the owners. And that is $1 million in additional in distributions and in bonus. What a hotel operator normally tries to do is they try to provide the condominium hotel with additional fees based on gross room revenues. I don't like it. I don't like it because we need to keep the operator focused on the bottom line. We need to let them know that we need to earn profit, and those profits are of course distributed to you, the owner. So we can see a difference here in the bonus that's paid to the professional hotel operator of $128,192, favoring the condo hotel and favoring a good contract. A new contract for the hotel management agreement would be created at the time the association would buy the condo hotel program. And the last item here that's a difference is the condo hotel program paying monthly maintenance on the commercial units that they own. Just like property taxes, commercial units have a factor to them. It's often much, much less than what you as unit owners pay, and they need to pay those in, and they also need to pay special assessments the same way, but in a much lesser amount. So in this case, you see that because the traditional hotel does not incur that cost, there's an additional $85,000 that's spent through the hotel program. Once all that has occurred, we arrive at what's called the amount available for debt service and other fixed charges. I've left some money in the bottom line here just so that I can make a point to you. This $88,818 could have been added to the $750,000 that was distributed to the owners in cash, but I left it here just to make the point that if there is a profit at the end of the year, that profit of $88,818 is going to be a check cut by the condo hotel program to the association, and the association will use that $88,000 to reduce the monthly maintenance fees to everyone, all owners in the condo hotel. That reduction, if it occurs, if the board of directors decides not to pay it out to the owners, that reduction in monthly maintenance fees will also enable owners to realize a higher fair market value to their units, because the monthly maintenance fee is looked at in terms of the value of condo units in the open market. So that's a good benefit. And we can see that the traditional hotel will bring $2,315,000 down to the bottom line, and they can use that to pay their debt service or other fixed leases that they may have. And then, of course, the rest that is not used for that purpose would be profit to the traditional hotel owner. We can see that there is a difference here of $2,226,517 that's brought down to that bottom line. So all in all, I hope that this was a good presentation to show you the differences between these two type of entities, why it greatly benefits the unit owners, and I think that the hotel program is always better in the hands of the unit owners than any independent operator or any developer that stays with the property and is making profit to run a hotel program, which, by the way, sometimes I see they're not qualified to do. So that's the end of today. If you have any questions, please call or feel free to email me. Thank you so much.